Welcome to all. Now we move on to a crucial concept for the survival of living organisms: homeostasis. Homeostasis is defined as the maintenance of the relative stability of the physical and chemical aspects of the internal environment within a range compatible with cellular function. Essentially, it's about maintaining a constant internal environment with all that the cells need to survive: O2, glucose, minerals, ions, and waste removal. This is necessary for the proper functioning of individual cells. The processes by which the body regulates its internal environment are collectively referred to as homeostasis. Homeostatic control systems typically involve several components. Sensor detects a change in the internal environment. Afferent pathway transmits information from the sensor to the integration center. Integration center or comparator processes the information and determines if a response is needed. Efferent pathway transmits signals from the integration center to the effector. Times effector organs carries out the response to restore homeostasis. Physiological control systems involved in homeostasis include the nervous system, endocrine system, and immune system, which operate through feedback mechanisms. The nervous system plays a vital role in maintaining homeostasis by controlling and regulating the other parts of the body. A deviation from a normal set point acts as a stimulus to a receptor, which then sends nerve impulses to a regulating center in the brain. The brain then directs an effector to act in such a way that an adaptive response takes place. The nervous system is divided into two major portions: the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. This slide simply introduces the concept of extrinsic homeostatic systems, which involve control mechanisms outside of the local tissue or organ itself. Here, we further classify the nervous system. Regulating centers are located in the central nervous system, consisting of the brain and spinal cord. The hypothalamus, a portion of the brain, is particularly concerned with homeostasis. It influences the action of the medulla oblongata, the autonomic nervous system, and the pituitary gland. The peripheral nervous system consists of the spinal nerves, and the autonomic nervous system, a part of the peripheral nervous system, contains motor neurons that control internal organs. The autonomic nervous system has two divisions: the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems. Another crucial homeostatic control system is the endocrine system. The endocrine system consists of glands which secrete special compounds called hormones into the bloodstream. Each hormone has an effect on one or more target tissues. In this way, the endocrine system regulates the metabolism and development of most body cells and body systems. For example, sex hormones can activate sebaceous glands, affect mammary gland development, alter dermal blood flow, release lipids from adipocytes, and govern reproduction. Hormones also adjust muscle metabolism, energy production, and growth in the muscular system. In the nervous system, they affect neural metabolism, regulate fluid electrolyte balance, and influence CNS development and behaviors through reproductive hormones. In the cardiovascular system, hormones regulate heart rate and blood pressure. Additionally, hormones have anti-inflammatory effects and control the lymphatic system. Homeostatic control often relies on negative feedback. Negative feedback is a control system that causes the value of a physiological measurement to change in the direction opposite to the initial deviation from the set point. This helps to restore the system to its normal range. In contrast, positive feedback is a control system that causes the value of a physiological measurement to change in the same direction as the initial deviation from the set point. Positive feedback mechanisms are less common in maintaining homeostasis and often involved in processes that need to be rapidly completed, such as blood clotting or childbirth. Thank you.